Hi everyone, Jessica here and welcome back to my channel. So today's video we are going to be playing with this paper pad by Craft Sensations. It's a good day to have a good day. This I showed you in a recent haul video and I'm really keen to make cards using the entire paper pad. We're going to be creating in today's video, I believe it's 18 cards, and we're creating some 4x4 inch cards. So just showing you a different way of how you can trim up these 12x12 papers to create more cards. So I'm trying to have a little bit of variety here with these kind of videos and then the cards that I'm making. So I've already taken two different papers. These are double-sided. I've got my card bases ready. I trimmed up one of the pages that was just chock-a-block with sentiments. I've trimmed all of those down, and you can see I've got this entire bag here which has got all of the extras, and then I trimmed up another page which had these square mini toppers on them. We're going to be using these as well, and I've still got tons left over. It's great for scrapbooking as well as card making. So I wanted to add something else in. So I've got these layered flower dies here by Card Baker Magic, which again I showed you in a recent video. And I actually just took one of the patterned papers from the paper pad because I really wanted it all to coordinate together. So rather than bringing in any other cardstock, I just picked a plainer piece of card from the paper pad to create these flowers. So this is these sort of decoupage flowers. It shows you on the back how you put these together. I've already done 6, but I'm just gonna do one here for you to show you how easy it is to put these together. Once you've put the first one together, you can so easily just get these put together. You could have a whole pot full of them ready to go whenever you need. So you've got the base flower here, and then you start building it up. This, like I said, 3 different flowers in here, and they're all different angles. So you're going to get that variety. It's not just the same flowers over and over again. And these are a really decent size. Like I said, we're creating 4x4 inch cards here. So great, like almost like little note cards. And this flower fits absolutely perfectly as the topper, you know, just one flower. You've got the centerpieces in here. You have got different sort of leaves. So it does look like it is a proper flower from a certain angle. You've got pieces in here where you can add shadows as well. So this little tiny die cut that I'm cutting here and the piece I did a moment ago, that can be used to really show kind of some depth and shadow in your flowers. I picked one of these papers. We've got yellow. It's a plain yellow on one side. The other side is a lovely, really simple pink and white striped pattern. This isn't going to stand out massively. You can obviously tell what it is, that it is a flower, but I wanted something still quite subtle. And like I said, I didn't want to bring in any other cardstock here. Basically, everything we're going to be using is going to be from this paper pad, the card bases, and we're going to bring in the glue and the foam tape and then some Nuvo drops as well. But I don't think, unfortunately, I got any footage of me doing the Nuvo drops. So this is how that flower looks, and I just think it's so beautiful. So let's get into cutting these down. I'm really trying to come up with different ways of cutting, but depending on how you cut it, some of them that I do in this video, the first one I do really doesn't work here. But again, I want to show you sort of as many different options as possible and really easy sort of like one sheet wonders. So I'm trimming down these pages. I'm going to be creating 9 panels from each of the patterned papers. So I'm cutting these to be 4x4 inches. So in the last video, we did 6x6 cards. This time we're doing 4x4. And so this first one I wanted to cut up on a diagonal. So you can see that I'm doing it where it's not corner to corner. I wanted to leave a piece. Unfortunately, this one didn't work because I couldn't get it to go back over where we flipped that piece over. So you need to really think about that before you start cutting into the cardstock. You need to think about whether it is going to work. The way you could get around this is if you put 2 of these squares together, die cut 2 of them, and then you took one piece from one from the other. That's how that would work. But I'm just going to leave that as a whole page on one of the cards. And then for the next 2, so I sort of did these in sets of 3. I'm just going for that classic on the diagonal. So This paper here, you've got some really lovely apples and half apples on one side, and you've got this yellow striped pattern on the other. They do make these paper pads kind of with this in mind of how they're going to look if you used it, and what they've got on the other side. They tend to do a busier pattern on one side, I find, and then they do a nice simple pattern on the other. So with this one, like you can see, I'm just gonna put this back together, and then when we cut up the second piece of cardstock, I'm going to leave one of those to be just plain as well. So with this one, again, we're going with another quite simple cut here, and we're just simply going straight down the middle. Sometimes it takes me a few cuts to really kind of get into the swing of wanting to do something a little bit different. I don't want all of these to end up being the same, and I want you to be able to take some of these templates and kind of apply them to your own projects. You can just do this portion and do it over and over and over again, and it really then depends how you change sort of the toppers and the design on top of it. That will kind of change it up for you. But I really love creating the cards like this. It's nice to kind of use those patterned papers. I don't mat and layer anything onto these, so it's really easy card making. So now we're going to do our second set, and I thought let's do something different here. So I have taken, these are the Creative Craft Products Circle Scalloped Nesting Dies. I've taken, I'm not sure what size this is, but I thought this was a decent size, and we're going to simply die cut the center from this. And I thought this was such a good idea because if you've only got a sentiment or like a small topper to put on top of this, this is going to be absolutely perfect because we can just inlay that circle back into it. You can see that we're just flipping it over and we're going to have that beautiful circle design. So really think about the simple shapes that you've got, the simple shapes and nesting dies that you might have where you can use this, because we're going to try a different shape in a moment. But you can see I'm just gluing all of these flat because we're going to add the dimension onto our toppers. And yeah, this with the circle design, I absolutely love this. This is definitely going to be one that I bring out again. So I'm trying to also change it up a little bit where I'm doing the apple in the center piece or then the apple on the outside piece. So I'm just trying to get a little bit of variety in these cards as well. So with the next one, I decided to see what other nesting dies I had that I could use, and I decided to use the square inverted nesting dies. So these ones will, when you die cut it, it will change that centerpiece. So the scallop is inverted. So what I mean by that is the scallop is left in the outside piece rather than on that centerpiece, if that makes sense. With this one, I picked a slightly smaller square. I did have a slightly larger one that would have fitted as well, but I went for the smaller one here. And this, I find that with a circle, it's a lot more forgiving if you don't quite get it in the center. So I tried a couple different versions here. So I tried to get one dead in the middle, and this is then going on to the second piece of cardstock. And then I tried to do one at a jaunty angle, and then that second one, the third one as well, sorry, I did that hopefully in the middle. And then we can just turn that piece over. So with these papers, you've got these kind of geometric shapes with the rainbow in there, and that other side you have that lovely kind of a speckled orange design, which I thought was really, really nice. Don't forget, not everything always has to be perfect. You can do it on an angle, and that does take the pressure off then making sure that it is in the center. But I really liked these ones using the nesting dies or just basic shapes, because it means then you don't need to have any special products to create different cards. So for the next one, we're going to go with a small strip, like a thinner strip, and then a thicker strip. So I'm pretty sure I cut these maybe to 2.5, I think it was 2.5 inches. And then we had just that leftover. That piece that I left is going to match up then with the plain piece from the last cardstock. And then these 3 that I'm cutting here, these are 2, sorry, these are the last 2 I'm going to cut. These are going to be, again, something different. So cutting it on a diagonal, but then cutting those pieces again. So just to make this a little bit easier for myself to make sure I got it in the middle, I did put a little bit of tape there on the centers to hold those pieces together. And that way I know that I'm die cutting, literally edge to edge. So with these ones, we're going to just flip over the top and bottom, and I really love how these ones turned out as well. Something a little bit different. It was super easy to do, and you're just looking for those different kind of designs that you can use for any of your projects. And again, I tried to alternate this then, where we had the orange pieces on the sides rather than the top. So I'm just going to glue these flat as I have with all of them. And like I said, I'm going to be doing the foam on the toppers and the sentiments, because when I'm creating lots of cards like this, I want something quite simple. This to me is very simple card making, because I can literally just cut the pieces up. Everything is within that one paper pad. I really have sort of enjoyed creating cards like this with the one sheet wonders, and that I like to do something a little bit more simple with this, creating panels and then trimming down those panels, rather than kind of cutting up a big 12 by 12 sheet and then just having pieces. I find with that I still want to have like mats and layers and things like that as well, whereas this I can literally just use that pattern paper and I don't need to bring anything else in. So now let's take a look at the actual card bases and those papers that we have created. And again, this is to show you different ways that you can cut this cardstock up to create lots of different cards. And what we're going to do now, just for the rest of the video, we'll come back at the end, but I'm going to be pretty much just decorating these now. And to be honest, it does get quite repetitive. So what I thought I would do for this next portion is literally just speed it up a little bit for you and play some music, just so you can watch me decorate these and see how I've done that. And then we'll come back and I'll show you all of the cards when they are finished at the end of this video. So you can see just how easily these did come together, and we've got some really great sentiments in here with those flowers and those square toppers as well. I love how all of these came out, so I'm going to show you them kind of one by one. With the sentiments, I picked out the ones that worked better for cards because like I said, there are ones in there which are perfect for scrapbooking as well. I love how all of these turned out. I did finish these with some crystal Nuvo drops in the, I think it was the bubblegum blush colour, I think it was a nice nice light pink as well. And you can sell these either individually, you can sell them as packs, you can mix and match them. I think even though they are a smaller size, if you want to just send like a note card or even just a cute little card as well, you don't always have to make the biggest cards in the world. And I find sometimes with smaller cards, they are a lot easier to kind of fill up without having to put lots of different things on there. So that is going to be it for this video. We have tons more papers in this pack, sentiments, toppers to use as well. So we're definitely going to be pulling this one out again. Maybe we can do a different style of One Sheet Wonder in here as well. So if you did like this video, if you want to see more content like this, if you got any sort of enjoyment from this video, please give it a thumbs up to help to support my channel. If you haven't subscribed already, then please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. So that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you very much for watching and happy crafting.